Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined again by GR Dad.
Yes, hello.
Welcome home, GR Dad.
Hi.
I miss you.
I missed you too. I missed everybody, but most of all you.
Oh, thank you. I missed you more than Hops, and definitely more than Voods. I love Voods, but man, that guy's been home for like an hour and a half and is already a force of destruction.
It's funny how it seems calm and collected in here now that Voods is diluted a little bit by the other five. Oh, Hopper is a perfect angel, of course.
Of course. All right.
Voods is a nightmare.
We got all sorts of Voods updates.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so the cocktail of the week this week, I'm going to call the Spicy Bee Margarita. The Spicy Bee.
Better than spicy cough.
What's a spicy cough?
COVID.
Is that a thing? Is that a social media thing?
Australia, and it calls it the spicy cough.
Spicy cough. I mean, I like it. So I went there. There's all sorts of exciting things going on.
Voodoo Golbeck. Go chomp whoever you're going to chomp.
He just like fell onto, is that Remy? He just fell on his head.
His enthusiasm exceeds his physical capabilities.
Indeed. He's got a lot of squeak.
Voodoo and Hopper are happy to be home in their own way. Hopper's sleeping blissfully. Voodoo is causing absolute chaos.
Oh my God. It's going to be a loud background tonight.
He's lying on his back squeaking.
Like looking at the other dogs like, what are you going to do about it, guys?
Joyfully.
So I went to Key West Legal Rum, our favorite rum place down here today, to talk to Paul Menta, who is the owner of the place and the distiller and the guy who comes up with all their stuff. We got a little project that's going to happen, which I'll tell you about when it's ready. But so they just put out a sugarcane vodka. So they normally make rum. He made a sugarcane vodka, which is really good. It tastes kind of between like a rum and a vodka.
I'm amazed that the vodka has a flavor and it's...
Did you try the vodka?
Good thing. No, I didn't, but it's like... The guy's he used to be a chef. He's a genius.
Yep. No, it's really good. And then he's like, he's kind of like me in some ways. Very not like me in other ways. But he's always got projects going on and like trying new stuff. And he's like, I got this thing. You got to try this thing. He's like, I did this thing with honey and I like put a bunch of like Carolina Reaper peppers, some kind of really hot peppers in there. And I was like, the honey mellows it out and this. I was like, oh, that sounds great. He's like, let me go get some. So he comes back with a knife, like a chef's knife that he's clearly like dunked into the container of honey. He like sticks it out at me so I can like swipe some off with my finger. And I was like, ooh, that's really good. I was like, that would make a great margarita because like the honey is obviously really sweet. And then you get heat from the peppers, but not
Ghost pepper.
It's not like punch you in the face. I think is maybe a Carolina Reaper.
Oh, the hottest of all hottest. No.
It's not super hot though. I mean, there's like heat to it, but it's just like there's warmth, but it dissipates really quickly. And like I'm not always a super fan of drinks with jalapeno in them because I feel like the pepper flavor can get a little overwhelming.
Totally.
Like independent of the heat. And this doesn't have as much of that. I was like, this would make a great margarita because it's like kind of spicy. He's like, yeah, we've made tequila. We've done it for a few years. They're not selling it now. And he's like, I should go get you a bottle of tequila. I'm like, I'm not going to say no, man. So he like climbs up into the attic and comes down with this bottle of tequila, which is fucking fantastic.
El Jefe.
Yeah, it's called El Jefe. It's a little sweeter than like the other tequila we get. So good. So tonight I made margaritas. So I use their tequila, little bit of Cointreau and lime juice like normal. And then instead of the simple syrup, I used this pepper infused honey. Man, were those good. So I'm going to call it the Spicy Bee Margarita.
I think that's a great drink and a great name. He's like you in two ways that I can think of.
I want to pause for a second. Ingo is leaning 45 degrees to the right on the couch. And Remy is his whole body up on the couch?
Yeah, it is now.
Remy's got his face in his face, and Ingo wants to talk, and so he is leaning 45 degrees, trying to get his face away from Remy, failing spectacularly. Remy's now licking his mouth.
Remy, what do you have to say about this?
Remy's like, I'm going to eat that microphone.
Thank you for that contribution, Remy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's also no difference with him between wanting to do something and doing it,
Much like me, yes.
which is exactly like you.
Yeah.
There is no dividing line. He's also super just energetic and has a lot of ideas and is creative and like not afraid to break something and coming up with something good.
We got a lot of the similar energy, which I think is why we get along. And so I had made some drink this weekend with his rum and tagged him in it on Instagram. And he messaged me. He's like, we should do this project. And I was like, I'm in for the project. When do you want to talk about it? Like, let's do the project. He's like, great. Like, come, let's do it.
And he does it. He's not a flake. Like a lot of people in Key West are flakes, right? They're like, oh, let me go fishing first. And then a week later, they're like, oh, I went fishing. Sorry.
So anyway, so that's the cocktail of the week. They're not selling the tequila right now because they're not making any more of it. But we've talked a ton about the rum, and I use their green coconut rum all the time. We go through so much of that rum.
Yeah.
And so
and the raw unfiltered.
The raw and unfiltered is really good. So the big update is you used to only be able to get this rum if you came to Key West and went to their distillery. Like they distill the rum here in Key West.
Yeah.
You can do tours. They do margarita classes, which are super fun. Highly recommend. Ingo's parents are coming in like 3 weeks, COVID willing. And I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, but we're booked for mojito class.
Mojito.
I think I said margarita. It's mojito class with them. But anyway, that was the only way you could buy the rum is you come into the distillery and they sell it there. And I think you could get it at a few liquor stores in Key West, maybe. Is that right?
I don't know how the licensing works.
Yeah,
there's some federal rules, right?
Yeah. Anyway, they have now partnered up with a distributor, I think based in Kentucky, so you can buy their rum online, including the green coconut.
Oh.
So I'll put a link this isn't a sponsored thing or anything. Like we just love their rum and like the people there, they do tons of stuff for Key West. They do tons of charity work. Like they're just really great.
Yeah.
They, at the beginning of the pandemic, when you couldn't get hand sanitizer anywhere, they shut down their distilling of rum and they started distilling it into alcohol for hand sanitizer, and they like got the federal rules changed, right? Because they have a license to make rum, and they got the federal rules changed so that they could start basically doing the process where they produce alcohol and using it to make sanitizer.
I think the rules were changed. Before that, you had to denaturalize the hand sanitizer. Like you had to put poison in it, so people wouldn't drink it as alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, that seems really toxic. Can we not do that? We're just amateurs here. And that was, I think, the rule change where they're like,
you listened to a whole podcast on it.
Yeah,
I think.
we're not gonna just add poison to this hand sanitizer. It's we believe in this kind of ethical rum stuff too. So it's not denaturalized or whatever. Denatured. They went through it, right?
Yeah. So at first in the very beginning of lockdown, like in March of 2020, I went there because we were going to host a party for the faculty at our house in the spring in Maryland. And then obviously we weren't going to do that with COVID lockdown. So I was like, well, we'll do it virtually. I'm going to send rum and cocktail recipes to everybody on the faculty and snacks. So I put all these gift boxes together. So I bought, $400 worth of like single serve rum bottles for them. And they gave us all of this, they called it Rumanizer, their hand sanitizer that they made. But they made it with like ultrasound fluid, which the ladies will know what this is, but it's kind of like thick and a little bit sticky. It's a little bit sucky for a hand sanitizer. It was like
moisturizing.
Yeah, but it leaves a residue.
Yeah, I think he changed the formula at
some point. They did. Like
that, the early stuff. Yeah.
I think it's like in March of 2020, all they could get was like ultrasound fluid. And it was like, at that point, you take anything. Right? Like that was the hand sanitizer we used for like 4 months.
Totally. It worked to kill viruses. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, it was gross. And you're right, hand sanitizer, people will know what that means. There's like aloe vera that kind of feels like that, where it's kind of a little weird, sticky. You wouldn't want it. Ugh. Didn't feel clean.
After that, it got much better. But anyway, they're really great. And so... yeah, just to support them, if you want to try any of the rum that we rave about all the time, I'll put a link in the podcast description if you want to buy any of it online, and they'll like ship it to your house, which is pretty cool.
And this is just as a reminder, a callback. The green rum is the one that turns pink in the sunshine.
Yeah, get 2 bottles so you can start drinking one immediately and then put another one in a sunny window. And it only takes a week or 2 to start seeing it, and it really develops like over a month.
2, get like 7.
It's delicious.
Do science.
That green rum is so good. It's unlike any. It like you will have had your Malibu or whatever. You're like Captain Morgan coconut, and then you're gonna try this, and you're gonna be like, oh, I've been having a cheap imitation of what coconut rum is supposed to taste like my whole life.
Because he uses real coconut, right? I don't know what Malibu uses, but it's fine, and it's what you think coconut should taste like based on sunscreen. But this rum is like a subtle flavor of real coconut, and it's just awesome. And the fact that it turns pink, just for me is the unbelievable.
Yeah, extra fun.
Unbelievable.
So there you go, the spicy bee margarita. You said last week that we should do administrative corner first. So
what, people are still awake? I mean, do you want them to hear this or not?
So administrative corner, which is the same as last week, is that on Sunday, which I think is December 26th. Is that right? December 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing this live podcast on the Wisdom app. Somebody had asked are we going to have to do all the podcasts there? It's just like a one-time thing. We will post it afterwards as a regular podcast so you guys can listen, but you should be able to ask questions and come in and join.
So it's a mix between a live event and a podcast?
So there's no video, but we'll be talking live.
Oh, good. I don't have to shower.
No, so it'll kind of be like a no rules podcast.
Ooh.
And then I think it should work that people can ask questions. So some of you have followed us already, but the link wasn't working for everybody, including us. But I have figured out a solution to it. I recorded a little test thing. I'm like, this is GR Mom, testing out the system. Sorry if you were expecting me to say something interesting, because a bunch of people started listening live. I was like, no, I'm just testing it. So I have a link to our profile in last week, but for some reason, if you clicked that, it wouldn't always take you to our profile in the app. So this week, I'm going to put a link to that little test thing I did. And from there, you can click through and get to our profile. So that kind of solves the problem of getting to us in the app. And then you can just follow us, or you can just set an alarm and join us. But you need the Wisdom app on your phone. And if you can't join us at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, it's fine, because we get a recording of it and we're going to post it up like a bonus pod. So that's that. The other administrative corner thing is that people have been sending us Christmas cards to our P.O. box.
We love them.
We love them so much. Ingo's like, did you go to the P.O. box, baby? Did we get a bunch of mail? I bet there's a bunch of stuff there. Have you gone and gotten it? I want to see all the Christmas cards.
I love getting mail and boxes.
It's so nice. And you guys send us notes, and some people have sent presents for the dogs, but just even the Christmas cards, it's so great. We save them all. We've got them all spread out, and look at them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Speaking of being nice, there was some day I was complaining about not getting any packages, and you sent me something from Amazon just so I could get a package.
I do that kind of a lot.
It was some, kitchen bags, trash bags or something, but you're like, oh, it's for Ingo.
I like to buy you stuff on Etsy, little things on Etsy, to see good packages sometimes.
I love getting packages. It's like Christmas every day. Amazon has made Christmas a year-round thing. It's not Santa, it's the other thing, but still, it's awesome.
All right, so before we move on to dog news, I just want to note that the current configuration is Remy is sitting on Ingo's lap.
Licking my pants because they have combo dust on them.
Is that what he's doing?
From the drive.
So Ingo just got back today. You were up in Maryland with the dogs. Drove 20 hours to Maryland on, Thursday you left?
So, yeah, Thursday and Friday, right? I mean, it was a two-day thing.
And then drove back Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, with Voods oozing over the back seat at some point.
So on
Voods, you're a terrible passenger.
On my list of topics, I have Voods ooze in the car. Climbing over.
Yeah, so I came back today. I mean, I stayed in a hotel last night. It was fine, except as we'll talk about in the update. It was not fine, yeah. Voods is a pinto bean.
Well, why don't we start with just road trip details both ways? Actually, right. Brody, do you need to go out? You're giving me a desperate look. Hang on. All right, we're back.
Remy. chomp my nose.
He did. The chaos today.
Test chomp. Nice work.
Brody did not need to go out. He wants extra dinner. Dear Dad and I were talking last night that we've been giving him second dinners because he gets super panicky and requests second dinner, and he's gained a ton of weight over the last couple
months. He and
months.
Voods have like crossovered.
Oh yeah, Voods is lighter than Brody now.
I know.
I was like, he's learning that he can do this, and we'll give him more dinner, and then it's escalating, right? He needs more and more and more. So we have now shifted today where he's getting a big dinner, so we know he's not hungry, and then he's just going to have to learn to fucking deal with it to not get dinner at night. So it's going to probably be a rough couple nights, especially for him, but whatever.
That's Brody Voods.
I think it's Voods. Brody doesn't have anything. Oh, it's Voods. Good job, Voods.
Voods is living his best life right now.
Nice abominable snowman. Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about the road trip.
Yes. Hopper and Voods had appointments in Maryland for their various issues.
And we will get into all of those details later.
Right, but that was on Monday, so I had to be up there on Monday. So I left Thursday not too early, an hour. Drove for a while and then stayed somewhere in the middle of, I don't know, 95.
South Carolina somewhere.
Somewhere on 95. And then
North Carolina, yeah.
And then drove a little bit more on Friday. And then I had a doctor's appointment and yeah, and then hung out over the weekend, and then Monday they had to go to the vet.
Yep.
Yeah, Voods is a bit of a nightmare on road trips.
Climbing over the back seat.
Yeah, he did ooze his way over onto poor Hops, which I couldn't help because I was on the freeway. So I pulled over as soon as I safely could and like basically lifted him back around. Voods. Yeah, I know. He just gets bored. And then, but he also he really likes to go to the bathroom in this yard. He has like 2 spots.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
We can't bring those along for road trips. So it leads to the situation where he's like walking around for 15 minutes just sniffing everything, but he does no business.
Yeah.
So you put him back in the car, and 5 minutes later he's like, oh, I still need to pee. Guys, I still need to pee.
But then he doesn't pee if you stop again.
He's his own worst enemy, basically.
I wrote down...
Also my worst enemy.
Yeah, no kidding. For your visit, I wrote down dishwasher test.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was another reason why I was up there because
our dishwasher and our garbage disposal
in Maryland,
have died. The garbage disposal, I think, clearly had gotten some part that shouldn't have been had gotten breached and had rusted, and we were with an increasing amount of work able to get it sort of working for over the last couple of years as we've gone to visit, but it's totally locked up. And then our dishwasher, I think over the summer we figured out the circulator wasn't working, so it just wouldn't spray the water around, so we had to both of those replaced.
It would make things wet but not clean. It was the worst of all possible worlds.
Yeah, it wouldn't rinse them, wouldn't do very much.
Yeah.
So we got those replaced. We had the guy who does work on our house do it while you were up there.
What was that? Monday. It was also Monday. Yeah, Monday was a big day. Yeah.
Yep. But it was the dishwasher was dripping a little bit, not because of his work.
Yeah, it was like a new seal or so I was like, oh, I'm going to run the dishwasher. This is Monday afternoon. Through a full cycle, clean some dishes, real life conditions, and I'll put
paper towels
down to be scientific and trace. If I had paper towels that changed color where they got wet, I would have done that.
Oh yeah,
that would have
that's
been awesome.
cool.
Purple ones that got pink or something.
Yeah.
But I did not. But I had paper towels, so I just laid them under the front of the dishwasher, so I could track if there were drips.
Yeah.
Without smooching around with my hand in there.
For normal people, that would work.
Yeah, and and then 10 minutes later, I'm doing something. I mean, I probably wandered away and came back, and I'm like, Voods, what are you doing in the dining room? And then I was like, oh, that looks like paper. What are you? And then, of course, the paper towels were gone. They were in Voods, and he was very pleased with himself.
Yeah, they weren't gone. They were just in Voods.
He's like, oh, I found paper towels. I ate them. So he ate, what is it? The Bounty, the brawny paper towels that were supposed to be my science. Now we'll never know if it drips or not.
I'm going back up Monday, so I'll figure it out.
He was quite adventurous in Maryland, including trying to climb up the stairs all the time, the internal stairs. He's like, oh, I'm coming up. I'm yelling down. No, I'm coming right back down. I'm just getting something real quick. And he's up 3 steps going,
Ka-thunk.
I can't turn around and go. I cannot turn around.
I sure can't.
You're going to have to lift me back down.
Remy is now looking Jerdad in the face.
Yeah, but coming back, so I just got back today. So I kind of split the drive. I stayed in the middle of South Carolina on the way. And last night, it was a very nice hotel with a setup where all the pet rooms have doors straight out into the ground level, like onto the parking lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is not great for security if you're a woman traveling, but
no kidding, I would hate that.
If you have a dog and you can just step right out, it's great. Except for Voods, who has this problem where he doesn't poop or pee outside his home, which I think a lot of people do too. They have a problem, but still, he shouldn't. He's a dog. So he wanted to go out at 2 and at 4 and at 5. And not only did he go out, he wanted to walk the whole perimeter, which he does here. We have like a fence. Yeah. He'll walk the fence line. But the fence line for a Best Western is really far. So I was looking at my Apple thing, and by 4 a.m, I had 4,800 steps, which is like 2.5 miles. And so did Voods. Voods was just putting in the miles.
Oh my God!
But he didn't poop or pee. He just wanted to walk around in the middle of the night. It was 41 degrees and drizzly.
Ugh, sounds terrible.
Which for you Midwesterners might be fine and pleasant, but for me, being used to 70 degrees, it was a little bit unpleasant.
Sounds terrible.
Voods. You were nightmare Voods.
So the outcome of the vet visits, we thought Hopper might get PRP in her elbow, which we've talked about, but basically they take some blood plasma and inject it in there. I had a 1-hour conversation with the vet at the end of the day. She was really wonderful.
Which is not generous, yes.
Oh, it was great. And so she's like, some of the injections that we do in the joint, like obviously it hurts for a while, which is not the best. And, if she's got some cancer cells left around in there, we don't want to stimulate them. And there's a bunch of treatments that could do that. And maybe it won't. But she was really like, every choice that we make with her has to be a balance, between her age and the impact on her remaining leg and the cancer and all this stuff. And so, we're kind of not changing a lot for Hops, basically.
Didn't she say she was really impressed with her mobility and her attitude and stuff?
10 times was so impressed with how well she got around and how much she moved. And she said they're both angels. And I was like, well, I don't know about Voods.
Don't know about Voods.
We'll get to the Voods part because I have detailed notes on him. But anyway, so for Hops, we've added one more supplement, and she's just you want to let her enjoy herself, but also not end up in pain. So we're maybe not going to swim as much the fetch part, because she's that's actually, swimming is great, but that is a really kind of aggressive use of her front legs. And so if she's getting sore, which she totally is, it's probably because the swimming is just really tough on her body.
That makes sense timing wise too, right? After long swims with Guac or with a neighbor dog or something, Hops has been sore the next day, but abdominal and back muscle and stuff sore.
Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to start her on some acupuncture. She sent me a link to learn how to do dog massage, which I'm going to start doing.
You do dog massage. You do the pinto bean massage. You do a Hopper massage.
I know, but this is going to be proper type of massage.
You do a Remy rub down. You have lots of massages.
Yeah, well, dogs get their rubs. And then she had suggested this thing called the Assisi Loop, which I think our friend Bob, the realtor from Austin, had suggested to us when she still had her other leg. It's an electromagnetic pulse thing. It's the same as what we were trying with CB on his brain.
Wait, spelled like St. Francis of Assisi?
Assisi.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So I had bought it, and we had used it a couple times, and then she had to get the leg amputated. So Chewy took it back, which was really nice. And then the vet's like, you should get this thing. I was like, oh, I had that thing. And I sent it back. So now I bought it again. But it's a
Sorry, can I take a detour?
yeah.
I mean, is that a reason for return? The leg that it was supposed to treat does not exist anymore?
That's what I told them. I was like, you guys, I've opened this, I've used it, but they cut her leg off. Can I return it? And they were like, yeah, of course.
That is the best. How could they refuse? It's like, it's an angel leg now. Sorry.
I wanted to tell them, I'm like, do you still have that open one that I sent you? Because I'll take that one back. Like, I don't need a new one.
The leg grew back.
Anyway, we're going to try that. And if I can take a detour. So there's also one of those for like anxiety. And so it's like you put it like a little halo around their head twice a day. And it's supposed to help. And we had gotten it for CB about the same time, like late summer, early fall. And it takes like 4 to 6 weeks, 2 treatments a day. And I just like with all the hop stuff, like I couldn't stick to it. So I've started it again. So we're on whatever day 3 right now. So we'll give you updates, but we hadn't been using it on him. And so I've kind of committed to doing that again. So side note on that.
It's good. He's quiet right now. CB.
I know. So that's good.
I just jinxed it.
Yeah, shut up, Ingo.
Sorry.
So anyway, that's Hop. So, a few new things to try, but not too much. And they don't want to do anything aggressive. So that's cool. With Voods, so we talked about house first, and she's like, on to Voodoo, and I was like, yeah.
Did you still want to stand by your angel comment?
She said, I have a list of oddities about him. I wrote down many quotes. I was like, this is podcast gold.
A list of
oddities about him.
It was several pages. It was a whole long scroll.
Oh, my God. So Voods gets, this is like a sports medicine specialist, but she also brought in a consult from a surgeon and a neurologist. So 3 doctors to figure out what the hell was going on with Voods.
Should have brought in a psychologist.
So his TPLO, which is a surgery he had this summer, like that looks great. There's no worries about that. Everything is healing well and the plates are seated well. Like everything's fine. Good. So we're going to start him on Adequan, which is like an arthritis medicine. Hopper's actually on it. So we're going to do a month of that with him where it's shots. So he's going to get 2 shots a week for a month.
2 shots a week?
Mm-hmm.
Hops is on like 1 a month, I think?
She's on 1 a week now.
1 a week. Okay.
Yep. So you start like for the first 4 weeks, you do it twice a week. And then you do once a week kind of as maintenance. But she doesn't want us to do the maintenance. She's like, just do it 2 times a week for the 4 weeks and then stop and then see how it is. Like that could be enough.
Cool.
So she said, quote, he's a weird dude. And
she learned a lot in her short time.
She said, he seems a little out of it, and he's got like a, quote, drunken swagger. She's like, is that normal? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, it's from his seizure medicine.
You should see him with a cowboy hat on. Then it's a cowboy swagger.
So she's like, look, if you feel his back knees, the one he had surgery on, it's much thicker than the other one. Like even as a non-expert, you can tell that. And so she's like, it's like the place he's at now is actually kind of appropriate for a dog who's 6 months out from a TPLO. But she's like, he's definitely not very strong in those back leg muscles. And so, we want to really do some physical therapy. We don't have people that will really do physical therapy down here, but there's stuff that I can do. So we kind of talked through all of that. So we're going to do that. But she's like, he tested positive for Rocky Mountain spotted fever. He has tested positive for that the whole time we've had him. So it's a tick disease, kind of like Lyme disease. And so there's a fast test for all of these, for Lyme disease too, where they, I don't know the exact process that it works, but so you put a drop of blood on the thing.
Does it have a plus and a minus?
Like a pregnancy test, 1 line or 2 lines, or a COVID test?
Yeah.
I don't know what the test actually looks like, but there's a quick test that they can do in the office, like at the vet's office, and you get the results right away. But it's kind of like a COVID antibody test. So if you've like had COVID or if you've had the vaccine, like you come back positive for antibodies, but it doesn't mean that you're sick right now. And I don't know that it's actually an antibody test. Like I don't really know how those tests work, but it's the kind of thing where if they have had Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever in the past, the quick test will come back positive always, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're sick. And so there's a more complex test that they can do that they send out called a titer, where they sort of look for more active infection, but it's more complicated than that. And so that kind of gives you an idea of like, what's the level of disease? Like, is this just they had it in the past, or is it that it's like active in their system, basically? I am not a vet, obviously. So this is like my educated layperson's understanding of how this works. So anyway, they sent out his titer for Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, which they also had done when we first brought him in before his surgery in June. And his levels came back a lot higher than what she would expect for just a dog who had had it in the past. And they were higher than when he had gone in the summer. So she's like, that really suggests to me that there's like some active Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever going on.
I'm very disappointed that he's not spotted.
I mean, he could be spotted under the fur.
I really picture a lot more dramatic activity based on my many years of watching Bugs Bunny. He should be spotted.
Yeah, well, maybe you need to start like parting the fur and looking for spots. He could have spots under there.
I mean, they'd have to be very big, cartoonish splotches.
So anyway, so she called today with those results. And so we're putting him on a month of antibiotics to treat the Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever. But Ingo and I were talking, like you were driving, and I was like, okay, I'm just like, we're going to read this live together. You have 6 hours more to drive. Like,
I was so bored.
and I'm like, I'm going to read you this website.
You could have read the back of like, medicines to me, like ingredients of antihistamines or something.
Yeah. So like Lyme disease, like there's an acute infection, right? Like when you get bitten by the tick in the first place, you'll get a fever, you have a rash, like there's stuff that happens. And then after that, like you can, if you don't treat it, like you can have infection left, but you're not reacting the same way as like, the first week after getting bitten, for example. So in any case, he has a lot of the symptoms, but not all of them. Like he doesn't still have a fever because like you only have the fever like right after you got bitten. But so from this website, I copied and wrote down 1/3 of infected dogs with Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, 1/3 of infected dogs will experience symptoms related to the central nervous system, such as spinal pain, lack of coordination, weakness, balance problems, or seizures.
Which totally has all of those.
He has 100% of those symptoms. He has spinal pain like in his lower back, kind of in front of his hips. Every time he gets examined, they notice that he's got spinal pain.
When I pet him wrong, he notices that. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously has lack of coordination. Obviously has weakness. Falls over. His ass falls over all the time. Were his seizures related to this? Who knows? I could maybe go back in his record and see if they ever tested him for Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever. But so, in any case, all of these symptoms are things that he has, and it also has like generalized pain. She had noticed that like his ankle joints, which are not the problematic ones, were kind of swollen, like they're a little puffy. And our vet down here had also noted that when she was testing to see if his knee joint had any infection. She's like, you see, he's a little puffy by his ankles. And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's not normal, but that is a symptom of Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, that they get that swelling around the joints and they have muscle pain. So wouldn't it be awesome if we give him a month of antibiotics and then he's better? Like, not that he's going to be 100% like a normal dog all of a sudden, but if we see improvement from like a month of antibiotics, that'd be amazing.
Scary.
Like having a more normal Vood?
Oh my, no, more energetic Vood. I mean, the only good thing about Vood right now, he has no aerobic capacity.
Yeah, lethargy is a symptom.
He has no ups, and he sleeps a lot. If that goes away, we're going to have to, I don't know, take him jogging or something. Cause
I would love a running pal.
He's going to have so much energy.
Oh my God.
But anyway, it's nice to have something nameable instead of like, well, he's just kind of out of it.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's not great that he has Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, but he's got the symptoms no matter what. So it's awesome that there's a thing that maybe we could treat.
Yeah, and antibiotics are available. Easy treatment.
Yeah.
That's a lot more certain than like, massages.
Yeah, for sure. So he's going to keep getting his acupuncture and yeah.
Remy?
Okay.
Remy wants to be next.
Remy, What do we have to say about Remy? What did he do this week? He's just a jerk. He
lost the sensor again, but after some days, that was good.
we got 3 days plus a few hours out of him. So he went up to the vet yesterday just to kind of check in.
Not in Maryland.
No, the vet here. We're going to change his insulin to see if a different insulin, Humulin N, for my diabetic friends. You'll know what that is. So we're going to start him on Humulin N tomorrow. Well, we got to pick it up tomorrow, so I guess we'll start him on Friday and see if that just keeps him more stable. Because right now his blood sugar's too high. We did a fructosamine level, which kind of gives you like a 2-week average, and it's also too high. But he has these dips that get like below the good range, which is dangerous. And so we can't increase his insulin because he has these dips that get too low.
His pattern is like a sine wave every day. It's like the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yeah. I mean, it's more like real steep drops, and then it comes back up.
Yeah.
But we had him on like 9 units of insulin, and we were seeing him, that's when like we saw him like run into stuff and get really confused, and 1 meter wouldn't even register his blood sugar level.
It said low.
Yeah. The other one said 20. Like that was really bad. So that was when he was on 9. And so then we dropped him to 8, but then his regular blood sugar is too high. But he had one dip in this 3-day period down to like 60, which is too low. It's not good. So we can't increase his insulin. So we're going to try different insulin to see if that maybe just makes him more stable and kind of keeps him in line. And if he's not having the dips, then we can, play within those levels. So for the people wondering about his eye surgery, we're fucking like months out from even, because every time you make a change to the insulin, it takes about 2 weeks for that to normalize in the dog's system. So we're going to start him on this new insulin, give it a couple weeks, just then see what it does. And then we're probably going to have to make some adjustments to, probably bring it up, right? We'll start at like a base level.
Oh, in 2 weeks we can get a new monitor.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my God. So anyway, so that's Remy. He also went to boot camp with me this week because dog has been...
You gave him a boot camp.
We talked about the powdered sugar last time, right?
Yes.
We've definitely talked about the powdered sugar.
Yes.
So he did this thing, I think the day you left, where he was out in the front yard and I was calling him in and he wouldn't come. So I went out to get him, and then he laid down on his back. And then I would try to get him up, and he's like trying to chomp on me, like not bite me, right? But he's like, no, I'm not coming. I'm going to chomp you. And I was like, I hate you. And I'm going to pick your ass up and drag you in the house. It's just, he doesn't have the training, right? He just doesn't know how to respond to anything.
He acts younger than he is.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to get him to a trainer. So whenever Dear Dad is recovered and wants to go back up to Maryland, we're going to send him to Michael.
I'll go tomorrow if you want, but it is Christmas, so never mind.
I would like you to stick around for a little bit.
I'd like to see you too.
Yeah. But he, even though he's blind, I think Michael will be able to work with him just fine. And he's smart. Like he has learned stuff in the 5 days I've been working with him. But, a professional can get it done a lot faster. So Michael at Old Town Pet Resort in Rockville or North Bethesda, whatever.
Mm.
He just needs a lot more training, and there's a certain amount that we can do here, but it's just so much more effective with a professional.
Oh my goodness. If you're trying to teach him and there's 20 other legs and tails and faces in your face and just everyone's interested.
Please, Ingo, it's 19 other legs. Unless you count Voods' tail.
Yeah. But the other problem is if you try to correct him, everyone else feels bad.
Yes. No, it's really problematic. So
Guac's like, oh, are you being mad at me?
Let's see. So that's Remy.
Mm-hmm.
Vink has a hot spot on her neck.
Vink, quit the fast living.
Yep.
Yeah. Just slow down, Vink. Come on, get some sleep.
So it's not a bad one, but she's gone pretty well without him for a while. So that's interesting and new.
Yeah.
So I shaved that off this morning, which she didn't like, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So we're fixing that. Brody, like I said, has been more anxious about his food, so we're working on that. He also, we're pretty sure, has a urinary tract infection. So
again.
Yeah. Our vet down here who runs the emergency vet had given us just like a refillable prescription because she was seeing him so many times for the UTIs. So he's on those antibiotics today. Guac is a perfect angel.
Guac is an anxious dude. I mean, he hates having one of us gone. I've noticed
He
when
just
you're
gets
not here,
sad.
he gets kind of mopey because
Yeah.
he misses you. I mean, he doesn't hate me, but he's like, well, where's Jen? And you said it's the same when I'm not there.
Yep, he really likes us both here. If we were to get divorced, he'd be one of those kids who needs therapy.
Yeah. Neither, yeah.
Hobbs would be like, I'm going to live with Dad.
He'd be miserable all the time because we wouldn't be together with him. Yeah.
We're not getting divorced, you guys. We're doing great.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh
Oh, my gosh.
my God. So
my
that's the dog updates.
Yeah. Hopper is a perfect angel.
Yeah, I mean, we've got stuff to do with her, but she's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to do German word of the week, or you want me to do taste of the keys?
You do taste of the keys.
All right. So I actually got two.
I like the bonus.
Oh my God. They're both really good. All right.
For Christmas, the bonus.
So a friend of the squad, Morgan, sent me this one. She was the first, she sent me this one, was the first of a number of people to send this. This is from this week.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one. This is a weird one.
Florida deputies arrested after fight with Navy sailors in Key West. Apparently there's video that came out this week, which I haven't watched.
Oh, we should review, yeah.
I'm going to read this story. This is from Fox 13 News up in Miami. 2 off-duty deputies in Key West were arrested following a fight that sent one U.S. Navy sailor to the hospital. So we got Navy guys who I think are like in their 20s and sheriff's guys who are also in their 20s. They're obviously all drunk.
In a bar.
In a bar, yeah. According to Monroe County Sheriff's Office, police officers arrested 23-year-old Connor Scott Curry and 25-year-old Trevor Dawson Pike on Saturday night, so this is last Saturday, after a fight against 3 sailors who were with a squadron visiting the U.S. Naval Air Station Key West. The injured sailor was airlifted to Miami Hospital. So the 2 deputies faced disorderly conduct charges, while Pike, who is...
The sailor?
He must be... faces an additional charge of battery. The 3 sailors also face disorderly conduct charges. Investigators haven't said what sparked the altercation. Okay, so let's get down here. Pike, so he's a deputy, reportedly struck a 27-year-old sailor in the face.
They were off duty, right?
They're off duty drinking. Yeah, the 500 block of Duval Street. Pike reportedly struck a 27-year-old sailor in the face as Curry pushed him, causing the sailor to fall and hit his head on the sidewalk. And it sounds like, I mean, one of the stories said that there was like a lot of blood.
He was airlifted, right?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, he has a pretty serious head injury, it sounds like. Hang on a second. Let me mute this. My mom is texting me. I sent my dad a Christmas present of food.
Yeah.
And it said it was delivered on the 17th. I sent him Polish sausages. And I was like, I haven't heard anything. And it's fine. Like, I don't need a thank you right away. I was just like, Mom, I just want to make sure that there's not Polish sausages sitting in a box somewhere that nobody's like not opening until Christmas.
The good news is it would be deep frozen up in Illinois.
Well, I mean, I had it sent to their work, so I think it would be inside.
No, it's like in the warehouse somewhere.
He got it. She's like, we got it. He was going to thank you on Christmas. She's like, but he's eaten some of them already. So that's good. He felt like on Christmas he should thank me for the Christmas present, which is fine. I figured that was
detour later related to the
go ahead, detour.
Kielbasa.
Well, yes, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, there's like some fight between these sailors and
the deputies.
The deputies. And the deputies, it seemed like swing first. So there's a ton of articles about this. So the deputies sort of made it sound like they were just defending themselves. But then there was footage, I think, from a Key West cop who had a body cam.
I bet you
that caught the whole thing.
I bet you the bar has a camera too, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like there were cameras that caught it. And I mean, they're all clearly arguing, but that the cops started the fight. The cops, like I'm sure they were arguing, but it's not like the sailor was going to hit them and they pushed him back. Like they just started the physical part of it. So they both went to jail. Rick Ramsey came out and he's like, here it is. I'm saddened by this incident and it will be fully investigated, said Monroe County Sheriff Rick Ramsey.
I got to say, the Sheriff Ramsey seems like he really is committed to this, like, strict, no-nonsense, transparency. You know, like they arrested that guy who took the 7 undersized lobsters or something from someone.
We talked about that last time.
Yeah, but this is consistent with that, right? These were off-duty cops where he could be like, well, we'll see what the investigation shows. And he's just like, no, this is unacceptable.
Yep. He says, I clicked through to the next thing. Anyway, he's like, whenever there's news, good or bad, I want you to hear it from me first.
Yeah, he seems to be doing a good job.
Yeah, when I was, we've been like, well, this stuff pretty okay. And, when I was clicking through for this other thing, it had an article about Key West cops, which are not the Monroe County Sheriff, but Key West cops who arrested this 8-year-old kid in school. Oh. This is a year ago or something. So I was like, well, that's not great.
But that's different than the Monroe County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, it's a separate force.
We have a lot of jurisdictions, as everywhere in America. We have the State Highway Patrol, we have Key West cops, and we have Monroe County cops.
Yep.
And so they don't necessarily overlap, but they do.
So the other story, I don't know what I was looking for, but somehow it might have been this story that I was just looking for different articles about. And I ended up on the New York Post, which is not a great journalistic source, but they always have the details that you really want to know that nobody else is going to publish.
Yeah.
And so I think I had found this story about the cops and the sailors. And then at the bottom, they tag all their stories with topics. And so Key West is a topic. Oh. So I clicked through. I'm like, what else does the New York Post have?
What does the New York Post say about Key West?
Because they got all sorts of weird news.
Yeah.
So I found this story that we very sadly missed last year, November 5th, 2020. The headline of which is, Florida driver whips out handgun when asked about his penis size. So I'm going to read you this article. I was like, this is so good. If we had a live show coming up, I would save this for the live show.
I think that
because it would be fun.
Yeah, right around the election or something. I mean, there's a reason why.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
All right. A Key West man was so insecure about his manhood that he whipped out a gun when a motorist mocked his penis after asking why he revved his Jeep's engine, the Miami Herald reported. So that's our friend Gwen Filosa. You must have a small dick, Dustin Allen Coons, a resident of Ramrod Key, no less. It says a resident of Ramrod Key, no less. Gotta make the phallus joke about Ramrod Key. Yeah. You must have a small dick, Dustin said, after the other driver told him during the Halloween night encounter on Duval Street. Toby Keaton of Coral Springs, which is not in the Keys, told police he was in his car in front of Coons' Jeep when he heard his engine revving up. So he decided to walk over and ask why he was doing that. He said Coons began swearing at him and pulled out a 9mm Smith & Wesson, according to the report. I flashed a gun at him, so I was protecting myself, police said Coons told him. But Keaton said he feared for his life. I flashed a gun at him, so I was protecting myself. Can you imagine that? Why'd you pull your gun at him? I pulled my gun out, so it was self-protection.
Isn't he just proving that he has a small penis by pulling out his gun?
Seriously, this guy's dick is tiny.
It's teeny tiny.
Coons was arrested on felony charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon, and dealing in stolen property. He told police he had bought the gun, quote, on the street. Where'd you get that gun? I got it on the street.
You lying? Yeah.
on the street.
Yeah.
He was also slapped with a misdemeanor charge of driving without a valid license and released from jail after posting a $32,500 bond.
Wow.
That's a lot of bond.
I think you go to a bail bondsman and you pay 10% of that.
Still.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. That was
is the final line, his penis size has not yet been determined?
I think that's a missed opportunity for the New York Post.
Gwen? That's the New York Post.
This is tagged under assault, Florida man, guns, Key West, 11-5-20, and penises. Should I click on penises and see what comes up?
No. No, gosh, no.
Oh, I clicked it.
You're going to get New York penises.
Okay, we're just going to close that down. I don't need to read that. Anyway, there you go. That's 2 tastes of the Keys.
All right. Well, I'm going to do 2 German words then.
Ooh, I love it. Okay.
But first, I'm going to detour and excurge into kielbasa territory.
Yes, let's talk about it.
This is like semi-no rules, right? Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Everyone gets bonus context whether they want it or not. So fast forward if you want, because this is nonsense and blather.
That's what people listen for. Let's be honest.
You're a vegetarian.
I certainly am.
And you order food from Whole Foods sometimes and get it delivered.
And sometimes from other places.
And sometimes from like Safeway or something, if it's something Whole Foods doesn't have, yes.
And
so one day you order some things.
And I just will do a quick note here. I ordered from Aldi, which is not my normal
You did order
place.
from Aldi.
I ordered from Aldi because I was just ordering like Diet Coke. And there's like 50 stores I can get it from in Maryland on Instacart. But Aldi had a green bean casserole pizza. A friend of the squad had showed me this. And I was ordering. I'm like, I wonder if they've got that green bean casserole pizza. So it's like pizza, and it has like cream of mushroom soup as the base.
That's a Midwest thing?
Oh my God! Every holiday we had green bean casserole. So to make green bean casserole, some people use canned green beans. My family used frozen. A can of cream of mushroom soup, and you stir it together, and you top it with French fried onions, and you bake it. I loved it as a kid. I have tried making it as an adult, and I do not love it. I made a grown-up version for our Thanksgiving this year with like homemade cream of mushroom soup and beans, and it was really good. But anyway, this pizza is like a pizza crust, cream of mushroom soup is the base, green beans and French fried onions and cheese on it. I was like, I'm going to try that monstrosity. And so I had added it to my cart so I was supposed to get 2 12-packs of Diet Coke and a green bean pizza. And then, of course, they were out of the pizza. So I was supposed to get... yeah, they went shopping and they're like, no pizza. So I'm supposed to get 2 12-packs of Diet Coke from Aldi.
Delivered to your stoop.
Delivered to the door. And the Instacart app is like, your groceries have been delivered. And I open the door, and now you may continue with your story.
Well, there's like 6 bags out there.
Oh, my God, like 8 bags. I think so much food.
I'm not sure I was there. I was down here, I think,
you were not there.
Yeah, you were up in Maryland without me.
I got... clearly somebody else's grocery order and like their 2-week grocery order for a family.
Yeah.
There's like fruit roll-ups and oatmeal packets and like a big old case of ramen. I mean, just cereal, all like Aldi brand bullshit, milk and orange juice and all like nothing. And a fuckload of meat.
Yeah, like 2 kielbasa's.
I don't even know. I just put it all in the freezer.
Yeah, like bologna and just like, all sorts of different kind of meats. But, a pack of hot dogs, a couple pack of hot dogs, some kielbasa, some Polish sausage. Nothing like great, right? It's like Aldi. So these are fine quality.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I get to Maryland and I'm like, ooh, there's meat in the freezer.
Yeah, I was like,
Jen's not going to eat this.
Like a lot of the stuff I threw out that came... because it's just like generic brand ketchup that I'm not going to eat that. Like
ramen.
Yeah.
You're not in college anymore.
I think the ramen may still be there in the pantry.
49 cents.
It is like the
package.
Like 10 cents a pack kind of ramen. So a lot of the stuff I didn't keep. I may have given it to... I may have donated it somewhere. But anyway, didn't keep it in the house. But like all the meat, I was like, well, maybe Ingo will eat the meat. So we have a second fridge there that we got it for all the carrots originally, so I just
and the Cokes,
nothing in the freezer, so I just stuffed all the meat in the freezer.
No, it's good. So I take it as a challenge if there's something in the fridge or the freezer to eat it, because I'm making space. I feel good about this.
I think it's great.
So I look in the freezer, I'm like, oh, meat. Forgot about this. This is why Jen worries about me being able to feed myself.
Now, if my
strategy is not good.
If we can detour from the detour, when I was up in Maryland for like the week and a half, a few weeks ago, I was worried about you eating here. So I had a gold belly box sent of German bratwurst and sauerkraut and mustard.
Yes, I ate like a bratwurst twice a day or 2 bratwursts a day.
You like made some on the first night, and I was like, you can put those in the air fryer. And then Jared Dad suddenly became master of the air fryer.
I ate 2 bratwursts a day for like 4 days.
Yeah. And I was like, at least he's not eating sauerkraut sandwiches, which is literally what he has survived on for 4 or 5 days at a time.
I put the sauerkraut on the bratwursts.
That's great. I mean, sauerkraut and bread is not really sustainable. Sauerkraut and bread and bratwurst is okay.
Sauerkraut and potatoes, I think, has sustained the German population for 1 million years.
Yeah, well, you don't make the potatoes.
Taters.
If you made potatoes to eat with the bratwurst, I wouldn't worry as much about you.
French fries.
If you made French fries in the air fryer, that'd be okay.
It takes too long.
You just slap it on like some white bread.
It takes too long.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right. So back to the kielbasa this week.
Here I am, the like Christmas miracle of kielbasa and hot dogs in the fridge. So I just
free Aldi kielbasa.
So I just ate kielbasa every day, along with other things. I mean, I wasn't just subsisting on kielbasa.
Did you put it in the air fryer?
No.
Oh, how'd you make it? Just on the stove?
With a knife, Jen. With a knife. I made it with a knife.
I mean, you don't cook very much. That's why I'm asking. Not that you're not capable.
Oh, I did not cook it.
Wasn't it raw?
No. It was like bologna. It was like, it was called kielbasa, but it wasn't like classic Chicago kielbasa.
Sure?
Yeah. It tastes like a hot dog.
Huh.
Thick hot dog.
Are you
Thick,
sure it was
U-shaped
cooked?
hot dog. Well, I don't know. I mean, it tasted cooked.
Oh, no.
It was fine. It was tasty. I put it in No, I may have put it in the microwave.
Oh, my God. Here you go.
I'm not helping, am I? I did not. I can't remember how I heated it up. If I did.
Did you? No, that's better. Like, I think
I made it like a charcuterie board with like, I had cheese and I had kielbasa and
raw
I had
sausage.
Crackers. I had lots of crackers.
I did leave some crackers there.
Well, I ordered more. I got more crackers and I ate them with the charcuterie that I made.
God.
Anyway, so I had that. And then on the way home, I had this like 8-pack of hot dogs. And I was like, oh, I might as well bring them home and maybe eat them on the road. And so yesterday, I had them. They were all sealed, and it's fine. I put them in the hotel fridge. This morning, I was like, ooh, the hot dogs. After the rough night with Voods, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a hot dog. So I'm driving. I open up the hot dogs thing, and I just ate one. I was like, ooh, that's really good.
Was it delish?
It was like, it tasted like a hot dog. It's very comforting to just chomp a hot dog. And then I had another one. And then I had another one. And then I had to stop myself. Then I put away the other 5. Because I think I could have Joey Chestnut, I could have eaten 8.
He's notable because he does it fast.
Well, I thought I was going pretty fast. There wasn't too much to these hot dogs. I forgot how small, like regular, ballpark Franks kind of are.
I just want to note that I went to the Aldi page on Instacart.
Yeah.
And found the kielbasa, and it is fully cooked.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it was, I don't know. I'm not going to eat raw meat.
You're the guy who I'm like, look, I made this cocktail. And you're like, ooh, the ginger, and that's great. And I was like, there's absolutely no ginger in it. So it's like you going, oh, it tasted cooked. That means nothing. Your taste buds don't work.
In my history, in my past, I mean, I watched Rocky, right? He eats those raw eggs. I've done that in the past.
Gross, dude.
Raw eggs. Yeah.
I've kind of forbidden raw eggs in the house. That's disgusting.
I know.
Like,
that's
why
why
would
I
you
boil
not
them.
just cook the egg? Yeah, no, that's great.
Why not? Because time. Sometimes you just can't. It's time. You need urgent eggs.
Never.
Emergency egg infusion.
Not a thing.
I need an instant egg, and that's raw.
Oh my God.
No, I always have boiled eggs now. It's good.
Yeah, no, it's much better.
Dog heads on them.
Speaking of, for the Patreon and super fans, we did Dad makes hard-boiled eggs. I guess maybe I mentioned that last week.
I'm not proud. It sounds a little embarrassing.
Someone told us that you can make hard-boiled eggs in the air fryer.
Yes, that's right.
We may try that this week.
I don't know, man. That's pretty newfangled.
I think it's interesting. I'll try it.
I don't know. We don't need this internet stuff for everything.
So are we going to do a German word of the week?
We're going to do 2.
Okay. Okay.
And it's going to be egg-based.
Yeah, it is.
Look at my transition.
Oh,
and marvel.
So good.
So one is Weichei, which means soft egg.
Weichei. Okay.
Weichei.
I is egg.
Yeah, EI, like if. I mean, yeah. So EI is I. Weichei means soft egg, which you wouldn't use it to refer to the breakfast egg that a lot of Germans eat, but that's what Germans eat is like soft-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
But Weichei really is just a derogatory term for someone who's like soft and whiny and doesn't, crumbles under pressure like a raw egg.
That's funny.
Like a soft egg. So that's Weichei.
Now, I will say that friend of the squad, Lillian, suggested this other German word, and when I was reading it to GR Dad, I was pronouncing it wrong because it is such a long word that it wraps around onto 2 lines.
It's hyphenated.
It's not hyphenated. It just ends, and then they're like zoop acher on the next line.
So the word is, and this is a classic.
It's one word.
Generated German word. I don't think it's very common. Eierschalen-Sollbruchstellen Verursacher.
Now say it fast.
Eierschalen-Sollbruchstellen Verursacher.
One word. I'm going to count the number of letters while you tell people what that means.
Sure. Eierschale is egg peel or eggshell. Sollbruchstelle is a great German name. It's where something is supposed to break. A Sollbruchstelle. So in a...
Like should break.
Yeah, it's like perforation, right? I mean, a perforation is like a Sollreißstelle, right? Where you'd be like, oh, it's supposed to rip here. But you can have like pieces of wood that are weakened in a certain spot and they're supposed to break off. So like chopsticks, right? There's a Sollbruchstelle between the two chopsticks and they break in one spot, right? Because it's weakened.
Should break spot.
It's a should break spot. Yeah, an intentional break spot. And Verursacher just means causer, something that causes. So there are German devices.
Lillian gave us the literal translation of eggshell predetermined breaking point causer.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That gets at it much more quickly than I do. But if you have a soft-boiled egg for breakfast or a hard-boiled egg, there's a machine that cracks the top of the eggshell in such a fashion that you can take it off like a little hat.
I remember this at your parents' house.
Yeah, you take it off. It's like a little circular guillotine.
Yep.
And it causes the eggshell to crack, and then you can just pull off the hat, and then you can eat it with a spoon out of the shell.
These eggs that your mom forced upon me, which we talked about in the last podcast, I think she did make mine scrambled, but I remember that breakfast sitting there nauseated by the egg in front of me, watching these fucking little hats being cut off the other eggs and just like wanting to vomit, which is no fault of the quality of your mom's eggs or this thing, but it's got this really negative association because I have these eggs in front of me.
But we used to have soft-boiled eggs all the time, and they have a whole cottage industry of like soft egg warmers that are knitted. You put on the eggs to keep them warm while you eat your cereal, so you still get a warm egg. And then they have these, Eierschalen Sollbruchstellen Verursacher. They're like circular eggshell crackers, but they don't crush the egg. They just make a circular cracker on the top, so you can take off the little hat.
Yeah.
It's a pretty specialized little tool.
It sure is.
Yeah. So there you go. Weichei and Eierschalen Sollbruchstellen Verursacher.
I
think we just called it Eieröffner.
That's much better. That means egg opener.
Yeah.
I've been practicing my German, and part of it is that I just think of things I want to be able to say, and then I look up how to say it if I don't know how to construct the sentence. So this week I learned ich dachte, which is like I thought. Mm-hmm. So es ist größer als ich dachte. It's bigger than I thought. What?
Okay.
That's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, I thought it was something about the dogs. It started I thought it would be harder than that or something. I don't remember. But anyway, so I was looking through I had Googled ich dachte because it's a form of that verb I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
And it was giving me all kinds of samples.
It's like comparative, right? Then I thought. Yeah.
Als ich dachte, but you can also just say
I thought that this.
Yeah, which is, I don't remember what I was trying to say, but ich dachte is a thing I'm going to remember. Egg perforation maker is, I'm just not going to worry about that one for now.
No, Eieröffner.
Eieröffner is fine.
You're not going to use it in many conversations, I'll tell you that much.
They'd probably think I was weird if I did anyway. We'll see. Your parents are coming, and then your brother's coming.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if he comes. He might like.
Your parents may get COVID blocked also.
COVID banned. Yeah, they might get Omicron uninvited.
Omicron.
Omicron.
You say it that all kinds of weird ways. Omicron. It's a letter.
I'm skeptical.
They're supposed to come mid-January, so we're gonna. Anyway,
we'll see. I don't think the U.S. is gonna shut down. I think but the airline might.
Your 80-something parents maybe don't want to sit on a plane for.
They are insane. They don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless they are told that they cannot, they will.
Yeah, no,
they're stubborn people. All
right, well, that's the podcast for the week. Remember, we're doing the live one on Sunday afternoon, and the notes for the podcast, and on Twitter we'll have links and everything. So, anything else to add, your dad? I'm real tired all of a sudden.
I'm real proud of the dog and the.
Oh my God! It's only 8:30. I'm exhausted.
It's dark outside. The egg and meat content quotient was very high. Is today the longest day? We're
Yesterday.
Getting shorter. We're getting longer tomorrow. It's the longest night.
Was last night.
Now the days are getting longer.
Yep.
Things are looking up.
Happy solstice, everybody.
Things are looking up.
That's right.
Is it like a witchy thing?
Oh, totally.
Winter solstice?
Yeah.
Huh. I missed all that.
Well, you were gone. We could have witched together if you'd been here.
I didn't see any witches doing any activities.
Well, you probably weren't invited to their parties.
Well, sometimes you see them flying around.
All right, everyone. Until next week, please go get your booster shots.
Yeah,
so you don't
it might be time to wear a mask again, which also prevents the biting, frankly.
Yeah, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, bye.
Bye.